Well, welcome to the San Diego Argonauts Sail Points races for September. This is the ODOM class. We're going to have 3 races here this afternoon. I am the red boat, number 81, with a red stripe on the jib. I'm wearing a small miniature camera mounted to the top of my hat. So wherever my head is pointing, that's the picture you're going to see. So my boat's generally going to be in the middle of the picture, and you see me circling around and jibing right now. We're about 15 seconds, 20 seconds from the start. The wind is about 8 knots, 6 to 8 knots out of the west. That start line you see with the 2 buoys is a fair starting line. We've got a few shifts coming out of the left, a few shifts out of the right. Wind's pretty good today. Good typical afternoon for Mission Bay. So let me walk you through kind of my stream of consciousness with the races and see what we can learn together.
15 seconds.
Okay, I just heard 15 seconds on the announcement. There's a 10-second countdown. Most of the boats, of course, want to be near the pin end on starboard. There's the bell going off. I got a reasonably good start. There was a boat to weather of me. He tacked off right away. I'm holding on starboard. Again, I'm the boat with the red stripe on the jib. So all the boats have are just continuing on starboard. Wind looks like it's gotten a little bit lighter. Some puffs coming in. You can see the boats heeling over. I am in a position so that I'm able to tack if I wanted to. If we got a big header over there, I'd certainly tack. Well, and as a matter of fact, I just did tack, although I didn't see a header. I like staying to the right side of the pond, moving up the pond, because it'll give you starboard tack when you start to close on other boats. Starboard tack right away. So I've got a boat down just below me and ahead, and the wind's up and down a little bit. You can see the weather mark and the offset mark coming into play. So I'm in pretty good position. I can tack onto starboard if I wanted to, but we're just continuing on, headed up toward the starboard tack ley line. I decided to tack. I'm not sure I saw any wind in there. We do have a lift coming in right now. That's a fairly good lift, starboard tack lift. And if that holds, I will be able to lay the weather mark. I'm hailing the boats to weather of me because I'm a leeward boat and I have leeward boat rights. Got him to pinch up a little bit, and was able to round the mark in actually in first place. So that worked out pretty good. You can see the wind's gotten a little bit light. My goal in racing the ODOM and the other model boats is have clear air at the start, be at speed on the start line, and try to be at the pin end so that I might be able to tack off when I want to tack off and not have to wait for the rest of the boats to clear out. Okay, well that's race number 1. Let's sign off now and go over and let's take a look at race number 2, see what's happening here. Okay, well, welcome to race number 2. About 15 seconds until the start. Boats are maneuvering around for a starboard tack approach. 5 seconds.
3, 2, 1.
All right. Well, I'm a little bit late. Kind of just snuck in at the mark. The RD called all boats clear, so I got a good start, a legitimate start. I did tack off because I was in a crowd as soon as I got across the line, and went on port, that shallow water, of course, and then tacked over onto starboard. Head back out toward the middle of the pond. I've got pretty good air. Boat's heeling over pretty good. I'm just trying to stay in some good air. I don't want to be too close to that edge. I think the wind can get a little bit light toward that edge unless something special is happening. I'm just trying to play the shifts up as much as possible and try not to tack too much. I've got good air, I've got clean air at this point. The boats on the far side of the pond look pretty good. They're working across on port right now. So if that port tack lift holds, they're going to be in very good shape, and I'm not.
Where's my wind?
I'm in a little bit of a hole over here. You can see the wind is filling from the left-hand side. I'm on the right-hand side. There's just not much air, so I'm just trying to hang in there as best as I can. Now we got some good air coming in from the right. I'm laying over a little bit, got some puffs. Wind's just up and down. I mean, that's what we expect in Mission Bay.
There's the wind.
There's some good wind now. I'm laying over pretty well. Starboard tack, I'm just trying to sail the boat, keep the boat moving. Wind gets a little light, I'll loosen those sails up just a touch. Now, coming in on the weather mark on port now, which of course is not a wise thing to be doing. It's a dangerous proposition, just because of the traffic then being there.
534 looks a little close.
I pretty much had to take everybody's stern to work across there, but so not in great shape at that point. But I think the in hindsight, realizing that the wind was going to fill from the left, which I'm not able to foretell that future, but it did fill from the left. So strategy-wise, might have been a little bit smarter to just stay more toward the middle of the pond, be looking around where the wind's going to come from, and then try to work to the left when I did see that wind moving in. Well, okay, let's close this off. Let's go over to start up race number 3. We'll see what's going on there.
3 seconds.
Okay, about 15 seconds before the start of race number 3. Boats maneuvering around for the start.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
5 seconds.
3, 2, 1.
All right, bell goes off. I'm in pretty good shape. Had a boat that was kind of barging in on me a little bit, but he tacked off, so no worries. I'm holding on starboard now. In the last race, that wind filled from the left, so I'm trying to learn my lesson and not go off by myself on the right-hand side. Boat's heeling over reasonably well. We have pretty good air out there. I am keeping the boats that are leeward of me from being able to tack and head over to the right, so I'm kind of herding them a little bit to the left, so I've got a controlling position.
I got you. Yeah, once you get down, it's tough to get out. I hear you.
Wind's pretty good. Boat's heeling over pretty good in there. I'm just trying to point it up a little bit, keep my speed going. What I'd really like to be able to do is if I can get just a little bit ahead, or even with those boats, get over on that far side and then tack over onto port, and I'll have them behind me pretty much. So I did tack over to port.
Oh, so now it wants to fill from the right.
And you see the boats
Now
crossing on starboard. And in the foreground, the wind has filled from the right-hand side this time, so there are some boats that are making some nice gains over there. I'm not in too bad a shape. I'm, oops, I needed to tack over onto starboard. There was a starboard tacker coming. So now I'm kind of in the pack here and having to struggle for my air. Struggle to get to the weather mark. Again, I'm approaching on port. Kind of a precarious thing to be doing. There is a boat below me on port, and he was blocking, I think, a starboard tacker that was coming in. Got a lot of talking going on at the weather mark here from boats, but I think I was okay. So this was again a difficult race. What I should say is a difficult weather leg. My philosophy is you want to get off to a good start. You want to have clear air. You want to try to sail on the lifts, be in good air, and to get yourself to the weather mark in good shape.
There we go.
If you do that, if you get the clear start, you sail on the lifts, you will be in good shape. at the weather mark. And if you can do that, then I think the rest of the race trying to kind of take care of itself. So I've got these last two races. I've been on the wrong side of the course. I think in reflecting on that, I think maybe the lesson learned is, you know, I was driving the boats in this race. I was driving the boats off to the left, staying on starboard. In the meantime, the boats on the right side, I was getting further and further away with them, so the leverage they had on me when there was a wind shift got pretty large. So I think in hindsight that it would have been wiser to have played more up the middle of the pond, not pushed everybody, kept them going to the left, but tacked and kind of kept myself in the middle of the pond, keep my eyes open at that point, and figure out, do I want to stay in the middle of the pond? Do I want to go to the far side of the pond? Do I want to come to the near side? Just keeping an eye out where the wind's coming from, what the lifts are doing. So that may be my lesson learned from this day's racing. Obviously, I was on the wrong side of the pond in both races 2 and 3, but I've come out. I came out pretty well working downwind. I gained some position. So that's going to wrap it up for today. Again, I'm focusing on the weather leg, the start in the first weather leg. I think if you do that successfully, the rest of the race takes care of itself. So hope you enjoyed this. Hope you learned a few things. I certainly have, and taken a look at it. And we'll see you at Sail Points next month. Take care.